calling the Beach Haven regular meeting to order on Monday, May 9th, 2016 at 7 o'clock. And we will start the meeting with Mr. Keeler. Reading the flag salute.
Get a plumber? Pledge
To the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pursuant to the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by posting on the bulletin board in the entrance of the Beach Haven Municipal Building and mailing the same to the Beach Haven Times, the Asbury Park Press, and the Press of Atlantic City. Mr. Haskell?
Here.
Mr. Keeler?
Here.
Mr. Maskell?
Here.
Mr. White?
Here.
Mayor Dean?
Here. And now we have the National Maritime Day proclamation, Sharon.
Whereas America's open seas have long been a source of prosperity and strength, and since before our nation's founding, the men and women of the United States Merchant Marine have defended them. From securing Atlantic routes during the naval battles of the Revolutionary War, to supplying our armed forces around the world in the 21st century, and delivering American goods to overseas markets in times of peace, they have always played a vital role in our nation's success. During National Maritime Day, we celebrate this proud history and salute the mariners who have safeguarded our way of life. And whereas today's Merchant Marine upholds its generation-long role as our fourth arm of defense, yet they also go beyond this mission, transporting food where there is hunger and carrying much-needed supplies to those in distress. Thanks to our dedicated mariners, people around the world continue to see the American flag as a symbol of hope. And whereas to create middle-class jobs and maintain our leading position in an ever-changing world, we must provide new marketplaces for our businesses to compete. As we expand commerce, we do so with confidence that the United States Merchant Marine will keep our supply lines secure. Because just as America's workers and innovators can rise to any challenge, our mariners have demonstrated time and again that they can meet any test. Today, let us reaffirm our support for their essential mission. And whereas the Congress, by a joint resolution, approved May 20th, 1933, and has designated May 22nd of each year as National Maritime Day. Now, therefore, I, Nancy Taggart Davis, Mayor of the Borough of Beach Haven, do hereby proclaim May 22nd, 2016 as National Maritime Day. I call upon the people of Beach Haven to mark this observance and to display the flag of the United States at their homes and in their communities. I also request that all ships sailing under the American flag dress ship on that day. In witness whereof, I hereunder set my hand this 9th day of May, this year of our Lord, 2016.
Thank you, Sherry.
Did you want to sign it and present it to
Yes.
Deb?
Very nice. You right there?
Deb, will you come forward, please? We're pleased to honor you with this.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
yeah, it's a wonderful event, and you have a wonderful museum that helps us all remember these things. Thank you very much.
On behalf of the New Jersey Maritime Museum, I would like to thank our mayor and our council for recognizing this very important event every year. Thanks especially to Sherry.
Sherry does a great job.
Yes, 565 municipalities in New Jersey, and Beach Haven, unfortunately, is one of very few who honor this day every year. And we're very thankful to you and the entire governing body for doing so. And we also, on behalf of myself and Jim, who's our executive director, we want to thank the governing body for their support of the Maritime Museum and what we stand for. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
very
We
much.
are all very proud.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I think the next thing is the manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. We came to the Treasury report for the month of April 2016. Cash receipts in the current fund account for the period April 1st through April 30th was $1,903,808.44. The cash balance in the current fund account as of this period totaled $9,748,554.37. The cash balance in the water utility account as of April 30th, 2016 was $2,300,588.24, submitted by our treasurer, Shelley Bowler. Moving on to department reports. Happy to say that the beach replenishment program in Beach Haven is most definitely underway. The Liberty, Padre, and Dodge barges are all fully engaged in dredging operations here in Beach Haven, both at the north and southern portions of our municipality. A couple days towards the end of the week and the first half of the weekend, ocean conditions did prevent them from doing any offload operations during those days. However, they're back on operation today. In fact, I had the opportunity to walk up there at lunchtime, and it was quite interesting to watch. They're up to leeward in terms of the southern end of town. According to we get daily reports from them. According to their daily report, this marks day 17 here in Beach Haven. We're also pleased to see that we received notification from the State Department of Transportation that we'll be receiving $275,000 in funding for street reconstruction of Dock Road beginning in fiscal year 2016. This is from the Transportation Trust Fund, which, if anybody's been following the press, is nearly depleted, so we're extremely fortunate to be receiving these funds. We're not so fortunate we did not receive any funding in 2015. On for this evening is a resolution for the Southern Ocean County Chamber of Commerce. We did meet with them. They, as you probably know, did not, due to the weather conditions, have Chowderfest last year. Did put them in a rather difficult position. So it was the third year of a contract we have with them in terms of contributions they made to us. So we did talk to them and we negotiated a reduction for this year only to a contribution of $6,000 in hopes that weather conditions will be far more favorable this year. Also on the agenda tonight, we're engaging the services of a planner. Her name is Jen Beam from CME Associates. She's experienced in administering co-funds, which we will greatly appreciate her assistance, as we do have a bit of money accumulated in our residential development fees, and we hope to have some interesting projects coming off the boards working with her. And finally, we'll be opening bids this coming Thursday at 2 p.m. for the construction of a new municipal building. Again, we hope these bids turn out to be quite favorable. That's all I have this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Crane. And Sherry, we now have the minutes without going to read.
I have an agenda meeting of April 6, 2016, a regular meeting of April 11, 2016, and an agenda meeting of April 20th, 2016.
Has everybody read the minutes?
I have a chance to read the minutes. Would like to make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Motion carried. Ordinance 2016-6C, an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 57 4C, protection of beaches and dunes of the Borough Code of the Borough of Beach Haven, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, to regulate the use of dune walkovers. Final reading.
I'd like to make a motion to table this till the next agenda meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
All,
Hold on, Mr. Kaxis?
Okay.
Mr. Keeler?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
yes.
So this will be tabled until May 18th.
18.
Ordinance 2016-8C, an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 212, 14B, and 212-16 use regulations, BD district, and signs of the Borough Code of the Borough of Beach Haven, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, to permit and regulate sandwich signboards. Final reading.
Since this is final reader, this is an opportunity for anybody in the public that would like to come forward and speak regarding this ordinance. If you care to, please state your name and address.
Just a quick question. Michael Dealer, Beach Haven. Let me get and grab my glasses. Sorry. I guess this is a little late about it, but, why, did you have a lot of requests for this? Or was it you had a lot of complaints?
No, actually, we did have requests, and people were using them anyway, even though there was an ordinance not allowing them. They were being used, and as long as we felt they were not in the right-of-way, and people brought them in at night. For example, the library puts one out for anytime they have an event in front of the library. I mean, that's just an example, that's a public building.
Were they ever enforced, the sandwich sign law?
I think if they were in the right-of-way, it was enforced, yes, but technically, there was an ordinance against sandwich signs, and
Yeah, I know there was. I noticed in there's nothing about securing it, like a sandbag in the middle, because if people happen to get busy and a storm brews up, you're busy and will,
well,
not notice it, and of course, you got the insurance and all, but I hate for anybody to get whacked with one.
well, I would hope that people that put people that put signboards out,
Right.
and I don't think it's going to be every business.
No.
And I think frequently they put them out if they're having a special sale or something's different happening in the store,
Yeah, it's a
that
bit-
they will be wise enough to bring them in. We've never had a problem in the past like that.
Okay,
Uh,
great. Good.
Okay, thank you, Michael.
Appreciate it.
Great. Are there any other public comments relating to this ordinance? If not, then do I have a motion to approve this ordinance?
Motion to approve?
Second?
Mr. Cactus?
Yes.
Mr. Keeler?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
Ordinance 2016-9 is the 2016 salary ordinance, final reading.
Again, this is the final reading, and this is the opportunity for anybody in the town to come forward and speak to this ordinance. Is there anybody that would like to? In that case, do I have a motion to approve the ordinance?
Motion to approve?
Second?
Mr. Cactus?
Yes.
Mr. Keeler?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
Ordinance 2016-10C, an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 171, smoking of the Borough of Beach Haven, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, final reading.
Again, it's the final reading, and this ordinance is saying there will be no smoking, not just on the beaches, but on public property, like the parks, etc. Is there anybody in the audience who would like to come forward and speak to this ordinance?
Okay, Michael Peeler again. I'm glad you're doing this. I see in the ordinance there's no mention of receptacles. People are smoking, walking up to the beach, I see the sign. So,
Wait, Michael, we did talk about that, and I think we're gonna have something at the street ends, we did mention it, that will allow somebody to put their cigarette in a receptacle so they don't throw it on the ground.
well, 90% of people will throw it, but if we can get these everywhere and have it funded by tickets, all we have to give out is 8 a week. That's $2,000. You know, that 8 a week, the $250 fine, and once the word gets out, people will know, don't litter. They don't like it here, they enforce it. So after 2, 3, 4 weeks of 8 tickets a week, that's enough to fund all the receptacles on the streets, at every entrance, in the beaches, and this and that. And there's some nice ones around other than the typical ones you see. Because they're not cheap, and I would like not to pay for somebody's habit, I'd like them to make.
I think that's a good point, and I'm sure we will be enforcing this ordinance, and hopefully people will have enough respect that they won't do it and we won't have to, but I'm sure that there will be opportunities for reinforcement.
Well, let's hope so, because all you have to do is watch somebody smoke 5 minutes, and there's the
All
line.
right,
Hey,
Thank you, Michael.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
anybody else like to come forward and speak to the no smoking ordinance? In that case, do I have a motion to approve this ordinance?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Mr. Cactus?
Yes.
Mr. Keeler? Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
Ordinance 2016-11C, an ordinance creating Chapter 185, pickleball courts municipal of the Borough Code of the Borough of Beach Haven, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, final reading.
Again, final reading, this is an opportunity for anybody in the audience to come forward and speak to the pickleball ordinance. Is there anybody that would like to speak? In that case, if there isn't, I'll close the floor to public comment, and do I have a motion to approve the pickleball ordinance?
Motion to approve 11C.
Is there a second?
I second.
Mr. Taxis?
Yes.
Mr. Keeler?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
Finally, ordinance 2016-12, a special ordinance authorizing the execution of and granting of a utility easement to Atlantic Electric for block 133, lot 2, first reading.
Okay,
Motion to approve.
thank you.
Second?
Mr. Taxis?
Yes.
Mr. Keeler?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
All matters listed under item consent agenda are considered to be routine by the municipal council and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certification of availability of funds, and any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda and discussed separately. All consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes. Resolution 103, canceling water charges. Resolution 105, clarifying the 2016 professional services appointment for prosecutor. 106, returning remaining escrow. 107, returning piling bonds. 108, returning dumpster bonds. 109, consenting to the issuance of amusement license for Mr. T's. 111, urging the Board of Public Utilities to oppose the proposed New Jersey natural gas rate increase. 112, authorizing application to the USDA Rural Housing Service Community Facilities Program for the new municipal building project. 113, executing an agreement amendment with the Southern Ocean County Chamber of Commerce for Chowderfest 2016. 114, approving applications by the Little Egg Harbor Yacht Club for ABC Social Affairs permits. 115, approving an application by Mordecai Land Trust for an ABC Social Affairs permit. 116, executing a shared service agreement with the boroughs of Surf City, Harvey Cedars, and Barnegat Light for construction code services. 118 is the 2016 salary resolution. 119, approving change order number 1, dated April 27, 2016, for the installation of pilings at the Beach Haven Municipal Building. Resolution 120, approving an application by Beach Haven Marlin and Tuna Club for ABC Social Affairs permit. 121, awarding a professional services contract with CME Associates for the provision of affordable housing services. 122, returning occupation of street bond. 123, approving an application by Beach Haven Future for an ABC Social Affairs permit. 124, approving an application by Long Beach Island Historical Association for an ABC Social Affair permit. And finally, 125, returning performance bond.
Is there anybody on council that would like to remove any of these resolutions for special consideration?
No.
Okay, then is there a motion to approve all of these resolutions?
Motion to approve is read. Second.
Mr. Taxis?
Yes.
Mr. Keeler?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
I have a bill list this evening in the amount of $2,817,350.03.
Everybody read bills?
Yeah.
Is there a motion to approve the bills?
Motion to approve. Second.
Mr. Taxis?
Yes.
Mr. Keeler?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes. Okay, now we arrive to the public comment period. Is there anybody that would like to come forward to make a public comment?
It's like the trifecta. Anyway, Michael Keeler again. Glad to be here. I was hesitant to come. I thought for sure the last meeting I was at, I began to talk in tongues. You know, as ridiculous as that sounds, so I looked at the video and I was fine. So I decided to come. The 16th, what's the objective of this with the land use board, you guys, and the historic?
The objective is we're discussing, we have a lot of objectives, so one of which is We're looking at ways that we might be able to improve the business environment in town and make some changes possibly in ordinance that might allow for some increased density as well as maybe another apartment associated with the business. We don't want to lose our business area. That's another concern. And as what's happening on the island in general is that many businesses, realtors are buying up land that were businesses, and then somebody decides they can make more money building a house there. And Beach Haven has been noted as having a very strong business district, and we do have vacant stores. We're concerned about that. We would like to keep our business district and make things as promising and affordable for many that would like businesses, but this is something we have to discuss. There's another important aspect of this. We're hoping that we will be able to encourage people to put in some affordable housing along the main drag. We're defining a business district as 12th Street to Pearl Street, and we're looking to perhaps make that a affordable housing overlay area. Now, when we talk about affordable housing, we as a town are not obligated to build affordable housing, but we are obligated to provide opportunities for other people to do it, but we can't force them to do it.
And
But we,
We're not talking about Section 8 housing, are we?
no, we're not, no. And affordable housing, this is just a beginning, and it's an opportunity for the council and the land use board and some members of HPAC to sit down and discuss this. We're running a very tight meeting. We're going to limit public comments to 3 minutes, and we basically have a structure for this meeting because we don't want this to go on and on. If we decide to make some changes in the business district, we will have a large meeting and publicize it, and many people in the community, we hope, will attend and be able to express their points of view.
This will probably be one of many meetings in order to take care of something like this.
Probably. Yes, so it's a beginning.
I know in my opinion, the main thing that started to affect the town was us losing our middle class people that come here. When the real estate boom, people bought, and then the prices were out of reach for a lot of people that I've known for 20 years. And that's a big problem. I think the only thing that really brings people back are events, a festive atmosphere.
And when we get to this point, you'll
For
Be
3 minutes,
invited.
I'll have to talk so fast, it'll just be like one of them emergency segments.
Right.
Michael, just on that point though, it really is, the master plan committee, they're charged to look at that and other aspects. And the purpose of this meeting is really for the master plan committee, which is a element of the land use board, to meet with the council and the land use board to open up the discussion on how you redevelop the business area.
Is that open to the public?
This meeting is a public meeting. It is
No,
open.
I mean the master plan.
No, actually, it is that, they don't have to open their meetings to the public.
Okay,
All right?
okay, well, this is a start because it's, greed can ruin everything. And I know most of you, if you've been in town, you remember when it was just alive. And it'll come back.
I've been here all my life, so I do know.
Right.
Yeah.
And the only other thing I got on here is for people to be aware that it is ALS Awareness Month.
Right.
Across the nation. And also I was pleased to find out that our governor has designated, I think last year, to an ALS patient lobbying him, that May is ALS Awareness Month. And hopefully none of you ever have friends or family stricken with it, because it's underfunded like 90% of all neuromuscular diseases are. Lifestyle choices diseases are funded wildly. AIDS, drug addiction, alcohol, obesity. All these are lifestyle choice diseases, in my opinion. But this, along with many of them, aren't. So if you've ever afflicted or a friend, do the best you can to be a friend.
Thank you, Michael, and we know your significant partner
Yeah, I'm
died
trying
from
to
this
move on
horrible
before
disease.
it's my time to take a dirt nap.
Right,
So I appreciate it, and thank you.
thank you. Any other public comments? Well, and if that's the case, I close the floor to public comments. And we now are down to final remarks by council. Mr. White?
We'd like to remind the public that it's Memorial Day the end of this month, and I'd like a lot of participation from the people of Beach Haven to come out and support this, cause and thank God.
Thank you. Mr. White has been the instigator of a more visible and solemn Memorial Day, and it's been very well received, so please spread the word.
Looking forward to Thursday's bid opening. Our slowly being rebuilt Borough Hall. This is our 17th day of beach replenishment. One of my most important initiatives, trying to see that we get Beach Haven protected again. It seems to be going very well. We've only had one munition potentially found, and that's not even confirmed. So it's going very well. And we didn't mention that it appears that we may seriously be able to get Beach Haven Inlet dredged, which would be huge in helping to replenish and rebuild our commercial fishing fleet, which has suffered. Finally, Sherry, I'd like to continue to thank her for her vigilance on our important proclamations and all the job that she does to, keep her council members straight. So that's all I have for this evening.
Thank you, Chuck.
Good job, Jeff. No further
No further questions, Mr. Cactus?
Just a couple quick things. Jim has arranged, I guess, for the angio screening. Has that happened already, Jim?
No, 24th, thank you for bringing that up.
It was
So
in the paychecks, so that should be notified to everybody in town because it's a great deal.
It's just, it only went out to our employees, but it should go out to the
So
public.
there's what, angio screening on May 24th, and what's the cost to the public to get it screened?
$49.99 or something.
And that's a great.
$49, and is that the,
It's at the firehouse from 8:30 to 4, and you have to call and, register for it.
yeah, so that should be made public, so everybody know that. Aquahawk, you see the flyers are out, I received them, and I think everybody should sign up for Aquahawk. And I think it's a good start, and I think other communities on the island also should consider the Aquahawk system. Just two other quick things. I went to a seminar this week on Clear Blue Technologies, where they talk about equipping your street lighting with either wind or solar panels, and they're going to be meeting with me, and if it looks feasible, I'll get back to the council on that. And interestingly, I drove up and down 18 miles of the island, and there isn't a single solar panel or
Except for the speed traps.
except for the speed traps, or they have these little wind things on the entire island. So we'll see whether or not it's feasible or not. The last thing, I know this is important to Michael, is the plastic bags. If anybody read the New York Times this week, they passed a plastic bag
5-cent charge.
5-cent charge in the city of New York City, and they had some restrictions. So I sent that over to Sherry, and hopefully we can start talking about that, using that as a guideline.
And that was paper bags too.
Yeah,
Paper
it's
bags.
paper and, it was all bags. They did make some limitations, for example, if you were, read the article, it was if you were getting home delivery of food, they would permit plastic bags, or if you were a person using food stamps in your store, they didn't have to pay for the plastic bags. So there's I think they really looked at it in depth, and it might be a good guideline for us to consider. So that's all I've got.
I have
Short
one,
ones to
I
Alex.
have one other thing. In the New Jersey Municipal Magazine that we get, there was an article last month about recycling plastic bags. And if we collect and recycle plastic bags and turn them into Trex, they will give you a bench. So if we can't eliminate them right away by law, at least we can start recycling them.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but now I guess I have to. There's a great article in the New Yorker magazine about plastic bags that just came out last week. And I've been meaning to make a copy for the council. It's quite good if anybody wants to read more about it in depth. But one of the things they say is all those bags that I recycle all my plastic bags, but they say they go to a dump. That's basically what happens to most of them. There's just no market for those bags. So when you're saving your bags, you might get a bench, so that's good, but it's not really making a difference in the environment, and that's what we need to think about. But on that note, I will say nothing more because everybody said everything that needs to be said. And I will call for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
I'd like to second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
I
Thank you.